Oh, hi folks, welcome to Missoula Live on May 19th. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television here. I'm with my co-host,
Kim Anderson, and I'm a board member with Missoula Community Access Television and the Associate Director of Humanities Montana.
Welcome to you.
Yay,
and
thanks.
Welcome to me. I have a haircut. Feel free, people can feel free to call in.
Sharp.
And write about my summer.
Very
well,
sharp.
springtime haircut. So I've got to get on to MCAT business. First thing I want to tell you, the viewing audience, is our summer camps, our summer media camps there for kids 9 through 14. Here is the first session's poster. This one is a Raptors of the Rockies summer camp. What you're going to do in this camp is learn the basics of documentary filmmaking, and you're going to go to the Raptors of the Rockies down in Florence and visit Kate Davis, where she has a lot of interesting raptor birds. There's like a big eagle-like creature here, and the camp is $90 for the week, and the week is June 27th through July 1st. There is another camp, and that's going to be in July, and that's at the 18th through the 22nd. This camp is going to focus more on doing animation, like stop action animation and computer animation and video. But to give you a break, see Phil put the big thing on the screen, to give you a break, you're going to go over to the firehouse, and there you're going to take a tour of the firehouse, learn some safety stuff about summer boating, swimming, and everyone's going to spray the big hose.
Maybe you'll get to spray the big hose.
I think
yeah.
in general, almost every child has sprayed the big hose, and I can't remember if they let them go down
The pool.
Yeah, I'm not going to guarantee you can go down the pool. The other things I wanted to talk to you about, this is going to be a dated thing since this program goes on for 2 weeks. This Saturday, today's May 19th, a Thursday, Saturday, May 21st at 3 p.m. Some people may have heard that MCAT hosted a contest called Do It in 72, in which the poor souls that signed up to do this agreed to make a film under 10 minutes, but within 72 hours. And in order to guarantee this, they were told their film had to include like 3 special things that they wouldn't ordinarily work on ahead of time. One of them is like Missoula landmarks. So it's going to be fun to see. It's at the public library, large meeting room downstairs, Saturday the 21st at 3 p.m. The program looks to be about an hour and a half, and there the winner of the $500 prize will be announced.
With very important judges.
Yeah,
and,
I'll mention them. One is Matt Heyman. He is the new photography instructor at the University of Montana. Another is the mayor of our village, John Ingen. And the third is newscaster Jill Valley. And we're doing it by the number system, you know.
to the ranking.
Yeah, the ranking, like 7 questions, like who had the best acting, who had the best look of the film, you know, which story you thought worked the best.
And we had a great turnout for this contest. I mean, this will be a big deal.
34 teams signed up, 18 managed to produce movies. And they'll all be screened at the public library Saturday, May 21st, 3 p.m. The last thing I'm going to MCAT babble about is our monthly training. It's the second Wednesday of every month at 5:30 p.m. right here at MCAT, 500 North Higgins, northeast corner of Spruce and Higgins. I got to move along because our first guest is yawning. I can see that. Like, yeah, right. Well, if you've never been here, here's an opportunity to walk around the place, see what we do, and see if you want to fit in by learning maybe how cameras work that you can check out yourself, how to edit. If you want to do this, it is Wednesday, June 8th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. thereabouts. And I put up those buzzwords. What is the future of TV? You can also learn to make clips that you want to put on YouTube and Facebook, but we want to put them on our channels 7 and 11. So that's it for me. And Kim's got a few things, don't you?
Yes.
Humanities Montana wise.
Yeah, just a few little reminders for people to let them know what they can take advantage of that's free. It's May, and so that means it's the start of kind of the summer state park season when people like to go and
Beaver Tail State Park.
Exactly. And so in about half a dozen parks around the state, including Beaver Tail Hill, we have Speakers Bureau presentations going on all summer long, and they're all beginning in early June. I think, let's see, the first one's happening on June 5th. around Darby at the ranger station there, and June 10th at Beavertail Hill State Park. But it's going to be going on all summer long. You can go to our website, which is humanitiesmontana.org, to get the full long calendar of events of who's going to be where. But if you're in the state park, stay overnight and take advantage of one of our speakers, because they're really fun and you learn something really cool. Also, I just wanted to give everyone an alert who likes to book our speakers that beginning July 1st, we'll have a whole new roster of new programs. So look for that. We'll be announcing them in mid-June. And finally, if you're thinking ahead, our upcoming deadline for major, regular, and perhaps some MCAP users would be particularly...
Media, you got your media
Right, our
grants?
digital and film production grants. The deadline for all three of those is August 20th. So start planning ahead for that.
Wow, and so it's major, regular, digital, and film production. Yep. So and you're talking some money. You guys have, you know,
we are
tens
indeed.
of thousands of dollars, don't you?
Certainly we do.
Well, around
yes.
here that's big money. You know, you got tens of thousands of dollars.
No, we give out about $150,000 a year in grants.
Yeah.
So it's something to think about. Go to our website again and look at all of our deadlines and regulations and guidelines.
Humanitiesmontana.org. Next time we'll have it on the lower thirds for you. So I guess we're ready for our next guest. And I am very proud to introduce our next guest. Link Starbury has been an MCAP producer for many years. You might remember his career as a comedian.
Oh, God.
You might not want them to remember your career as a comedian. But he is also a mathematician. And he's here in the studio to talk about an upcoming event. The Magic Campaign is going to be this, not this, but depending on when they're watching, it's going to be Saturday, June 4th, 4 p.m., also at the Missoula Public Library, 300 East Main Street. And so what's going on?
Well, I wish you hadn't mentioned the comedian part.
Okay, sorry.
But I do think I'm funny. But no jokes, all jokes aside here, for the last couple of years I've been working on standardizing a kernel, the EGP kernel. It's an ISA. The idea is that the real universe is 4,096 bits. Okay. So to give you an example, most of your computing is done either in 32 or 64 bits. And string theory dictates that our universe is really a lot more powerful than that. And I believe, or the belief is that, you know, that's where the real magic lies. So anything that you can ever want to be done or you can ever dream of would take place in that. So I've committed to the next 15 years to standardizing a stereo, because the universe is in stereo, so standardizing a lot of this research. And I'm going to need to promote it, I'm going to need further support, and so I've devised a campaign. I'm calling it the Magic Campaign. A lot of people know that my work is meant to be, it's the magic word here, I guess enjoyed by people of all ages. So kids and families are welcome to kind of come and witness this really gorgeous presentation that I've got going on the 4th of June. So take a step back here. Anybody who witnessed the debacle that was First Night Missoula on the campus there really saw me talk more about a memoir that
so you did a presentation then for First Night?
I did a presentation then that was actually supposed to be a forerunner for what's going down in June. And it didn't go as well because it was more geared towards me instead of my work. This time it's all about the Magic Campaign. And I did buy myself a little car. I'll be traveling, I'll be touring the country in this little car that I've paid cash for. It's a Chevy Promiscuous.
Very good.
It gets around, so no.
That was
I had
pretty
to,
good.
I had to get that one in. I had to get that one in. No, seriously, all jokes
But
aside.
Link, could you tell the people, like, do they need to bring a math background? Like, I understood a little of what you said. Like, you started saying things, like you said kernel, and you said bits, and I kind of understood,
Right.
you know, 32-bit and 64. I mean, just that one's bigger than the other. And then you were like, okay, 4,200 bits, like, might be the level at which the universe is doing something. How accessible is it? You know, should just smart people come, or is it open to people of all understandings of just general math or rationality?
You know, Joel, one of the mistakes that I've made is trying to not simplify my work over the years. I've kept it too technical, actually, and that was a big no-no I've learned. So what I've done is I've really broken it down to just a few things, a few pointers. So no, you do not need to bring your PhD
Okay.
to understand this.
I'm going to leave that at home because mine's fragile.
Yeah.
You know.
And you said gorgeous presentation.
It's
I
a
mean, are
gorgeous
there
presentation.
Visuals?
Right, it's
Are
very
there-
visual, a lot of multimedia.
Oh, great.
You get my sense of humor. You get Link Starver when you come to see this. So it's a big deal. I mean, I'm a little nervous here. Surprisingly, I haven't been in the studio for a while, so I am a little winded. But yeah, this is something I've been working very hard on. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Oh, and you've got a website if people want to learn a little more, right? And maybe Philip will put it up. It looks like welcome, but it's got 2 U's and at the beginning. There it is. It's www.uuelcome.org.
Right, UUE, United Under Economy, that is the trust on which all this stuff gets standardized, under which I'm the fiduciary. So UUE, it's a play on welcome, and welcome.org. That's actually, it's going to direct you to my blog. I figure the blog is kind of like the best form factor for communicating the way I do now. So there you have it. You can follow along and you can catch me doing this thing. This is a big deal, people. June 4th is Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Public Library in the large meeting room.
All right.
It begins, so come.
Okay. Well, Link, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
And we've got a number of guests today to share with you, so we'll be right back with the next one. Thanks for watching.
It's your community. It's your TV. And it's your community access station. MCAT, Missoula Community Access Television.
Laser question.
TV by you, for you.
Flagships helped me because the coordinators, I've been able to talk to them and they've helped me and get through hard times, and I've learned a lot of new experiences that I would have never done.
Flagships really helped me just step out of my comfort zone and really make new friends.
Flagship has helped me make new friends. I participated in Respect Club, Sports Club, fencing, homework zone, and science club. If I wasn't participating in Flagship, I would be playing video games at home.
My favorite flagship activity would probably be homework zone. Definitely it's helped me with, my comfort level. Also, I got better grades.
I've been in flagship since kindergarten. The one I had help in the homework zone flagship, they helped me on a study skill and helped me with different tips.
The flagship program, because after school shouldn't be an afterthought.
And we're back with Josh Jones of City Life Community Center. Josh, thanks for popping in.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Do you want to tell people in broad strokes, City Life Community Center, what is it?
Yeah, City Life Community Center is a great 32,000 square foot facility. It's in the middle of Missoula over by the fairgrounds. It's on Fairview. We have 10 nonprofit organizations that have office space upstairs, and all the nonprofits in there go to serve families and teens. We have a teen emphasis, so youth emphasis on our main floor. We have a cafe. It's open every day from 7:30 to 6, and we have great coffees and all kinds of great stuff. We also have a teen center, a student center that we open every day after school or any day that school's out. It's open 3 to 6 during school and 11 to 6 when they have school out, and we have a plethora of great things there. We've got TVs, 52-inch TVs, 5 of them. Got
Whoa.
Xboxes that are all connected to those, and Wii's, and we got pool tables and ping pong tables and musical instruments and computers, and so we have a lot of different things. And in our basement, we have an indoor paintball facility, and I say the basement lightly because it's a really high-end paintball indoor facility, and we do birthday parties and all kinds of stuff down there as well. So
Oh, that's great. And this is so appealing to an age group like teenagers, or will kids in middle school be able to come?
yeah, 7th through 12th is our primary target,
Okay.
which is, generally speaking, is 12 through 19-year-olds. But we also get a large amount of birthday parties in our gym for younger kids. We have a whole arrangement of inflatable toys that kids can play with, play on, bounce houses and slides and those type of things.
So for special events, you are open to
Yes,
younger
yes,
kids. That's
definitely.
great.
Yeah, and then we've had kids as young as 8 play paintball downstairs. so,
Sure.
yeah,
Oh, that's really great. And then it is a non-profit organization.
that's correct.
Okay. And
You've got a whole
bunch of
summer
stuff here
full
for
of
summer
camps,
things.
right?
That's right. Yeah, we have a summer of extreme days, is what we call it. Jump into some extreme days. There's 24 extreme days, and kids can participate in 1, 5, or all 24, whatever they want to do.
And are they all on the premises, or are some of them?
It's all, we meet at City Life at 7:30 in the morning. So if parents are dropping kids off before work kind of thing, they can drop them off and we'll hang out there.
Oh, you really do. See, like, folks at home, you can't really see this, but Josh brought by a pamphlet from City Life Community Center. Oh, and I can see stuff. Like, it says 1515 Fairview Avenue.
Yep.
If you're interested in what we're talking about, you can call 532-1555. 532-1555. You can email Bob at citylifemontana.com. But anyway, what I'm trying to show you, and not very successfully, is that there's different activities each day. There's rock climbing, paintball, ropes course,
Spelunking.
yeah, Salmon Lake, river trip, biking the Hiawatha. Oh, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I
And
want to
for-
bike the Hiawatha. It's the train, the old train
Yeah,
tracks
that's
are
right.
pulled
Yeah.
out.
1.5 mile tunnels.
For
wanna do
all
that.
of our MCAT friends, there's Geek Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn how to build a computer, network, play games,
Nice.
set up all those things. Yeah.
What does it say? Sky High Laser Quest.
Yeah, Sky High is a 30,000 square foot facility in Spokane that is trampolines, floor, and walls. And
Oh, I want to go there.
They have a huge foam pit, and even at my old brittle age, I was able to do some backflips into the foam pit. So yeah, Sky High is a great time,
That
and then of
sounds
course
really
Laser
fun.
Quest is indoor laser tag.
And these are really, like that day when you go over to Spokane, the kids are taken at 7:30 and then they're back at 9.
Yeah.
So they're all day events. You're not kidding around. I mean, the kids go at 7:30, let's say spelunking, and they're back at 6.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
going to
full days of events.
tell people the prices. Like if you're a member of City Life, what does that mean? What do you
Well,
have to do?
we have a membership program at City Life that gets you discounts to everything that we do, obviously. It also allows you to earn points. If you come in and hang out, you can clock into a time clock and you can earn points and credits and actually use those points to buy things that are cafe or online. And so, yeah, there's
so
a
it
whole...
rewards the kids for like after school
for participation.
Right.
Yep, that's right. So
This just sounds like such a great alternative to, having the kids getting up at noon and
Yeah.
watching MTV for a while, and then,
Sounds good to me.
This
but
is really active and involved.
it's very active. Yeah, www.citylifemt.com. You can check out more detail. You can always call, but that is our website. And yeah, there's just all kinds of great stuff going on there. So
And the people can choose. So that, like the first event, I'm just scanning. It looks like it's June 28th, but I'm not sure.
yeah, yep. I think the 21st actually is our
Okay.
first.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Lewis
yeah,
and
yeah.
Clark
Yep.
Taverns is
Yep.
on the 21st, and people can do this a la carte.
Yep.
As well, you can
That's
say,
right.
well, we
Right.
want one day, and then decide, well, is membership worth it? Because there's steep discounts. Like $5
Absolutely.
off, $15 off this trip, $10 off that trip, and so on. So depending on how many
Yeah.
times the kids want to participate.
And you're offering each one of these days on multiple different days.
That's right,
So
yes.
if you can't make it one day,
If you can't make it
can-
one day, you can make it the next.
Except
Right.
Hiawatha is June 30th.
Yeah, there's
when-
only one Hiawatha.
There's a lot of Blackfoot River.
Well, clear your calendar for that.
Yeah.
It is summer in Montana, so when we go to Salmon Lake, we'll be doing some spear fishing if you have a fishing license, and rope swinging, and behind a boat, and then yeah, we're going to do some Blackfoot River stuff too. So it should be a lot of
Oh,
fun.
this sounds
Wonderful.
great.
Well, and okay, who's got this? City Life is owned and operated by Youth for Christ. And I remember interviewing Brent Juriska.
That's pretty close, Juretza. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Juretza.
right. Yep.
And then, I mean, it's GR, yeah, it was hard to
Yeah,
pronounce.
it's a tough name.
But is he still doing it?
He is, absolutely. Yep, he's our executive director, and he's rocking and rolling, and we're just getting ready for a busy, fun, exciting summer.
Yeah.
So
Well, it sounds like you have an amazing facility too. I haven't been there over there, but
32,000 square
that's
feet.
really
Yeah.
impressive.
you should come check it out.
Well, I will.
I'll give you a
I
tour.
will. Okay,
Oh, that's
good.
great.
Sweet.
Well, Josh, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate the time.
You're most welcome. We'll be right back. I can't imagine what we're going to show you next.
It'll be a surprise.
Should it be a surprise, or should I say ask Philip to show that interview that Christian did with the fellow that lives in town? It was a broadcaster.
Oh,
What do you think, Philip? Are you going to do that? He says he's going to.
that's a big thumbs up.
So I'll set that up. When we come back, I'll tell you a little more about where this clip came from. Just stay with us.
I'm Jack Wiegman. I'm a former broadcaster from Missoula. I grew up here, was on KGVO radio years ago, and I established a jazz program that ran for 10 years while I was there and another 10 or 15 after I left. Jazz has always been fascinating to me, but so has invention. I was an engineer at KGVO and elsewhere, and it is through electronics that I got interested in invention, and it is through electronics and being a father that I got interested in encouraging other people to invent. It's true that really every person invents. Most of us don't take time to take credit for it, or sometimes we just don't feel our idea is good. Take, for instance, the idea of a capsule like the one you'd toss down for medicine. But it was 30 years ago someone came up with the idea of making that toothpaste. So you would put it in your mouth, crunch it, and brush your teeth, and forget it, not have to squeeze the tube, not make the mess. But it was one of those ideas that wasn't locked up sufficiently, and as a consequence, the toothpaste companies never fooled with it because they were on a minimum profit angle, and it just wasn't worth the bother to change anything. So today, you do not have toothpaste capsules. But let me tell you what I'm interested in getting people tied into today, and why I asked you to let me tell about the SSB hearing aid. Now, the SSB hearing aid will look like one of these puppies. You put it in your head and you'll hear a little bit better. No human ear is really perfect, and the older or frailer the ear gets, the less likely it is can be brought back to anything. A hearing aid is a crutch. But I have been allowed to place my hearing aid invention in the competition, this year's competition for Create the Future, at none less than NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And, you know, from my standpoint, that just knocks the old Socceroos off me. I have another invention that I hope to be able to get the attention of the NASA people. After all, aeronautics. My other invention that is still evolving, and I can't show you today, is a flying saucer. I guarantee you the next flying saucer you see will be mine. That's one of its magics, is that it should be very easy to fly. You do lay on your stomach, you will watch the future in front of you through a periscope, but it should be easy to drive, easier to navigate than any modern airplane, and good, bad, or indifferent, it's got to be electrical. So in any case, these, back to square one, I guess, the single sideband hearing aid uses an old technology. The first experiments with radio, the earliest ones, created a kind of radio called continuous wave, CW as it's initialed. And that was just a case of turn the transmitter on, turn it back off, turn it on and off at the right rate, and somebody could tell what you meant by listening to the pulses that you made. Then that one went a long, long way. It would reach across the Atlantic. But the next invention was a little bit more difficult. That one would carry the voice, called AM radio or amplitude modulation. It wouldn't carry sound as far, but it carried voice. Then the third invention had the magic of the first two. It would carry a great distance and it would carry voice. Unfortunately, if you didn't know the guy transmitting, you couldn't figure out what his voice was supposed to sound like because it drifted the pitch all over. A voice that was sounding like this might sound like this. Now that was called single sideband or suppressed carrier sideband radio. And that is my invention. With modern electronics, we can multiply things, and you can take one of these hearing aids and you can add a little bit of circuitry to it that will take voices around you, bring them into the aid without interfering with the sound you're already hearing. And it will take, well, here's Grandpa wanting to talk to his granddaughter, his 3-year-old granddaughter. The odds that an elderly man will be able to understand a 3-year-old child are pretty slim. But it can take a little girl's voice and crank it down in pitch to that of Hoyt Axton or John Wayne. It can really change the pitch, and yet it can do so without interfering with those voices that a person can handle. If you think about it, an elderly couple, a woman loses hearing in a way that she can't easily hear a man's voice, and a man loses his hearing so he can't easily handle a woman's voice, and maybe that's why old people have good marriages. They can't argue. In any case, I want to make sure that everybody understands that although there is a contest here, and I really, really want people to go to the contest, hopefully vote for mine. It's on the internet. Create the future. NASA, that's what your search criteria would be. But the real trick is everybody invents everybody. And you just got to have enough chutzpah to say, I invented something, and to brag on it. In this case, my bragging on my invention, this one of 6, may mean $20,000. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Government. Well, I tell you what, invention is such a charming thing. It's immensely charming, and I don't know that a person should be proud of anything, but satisfied at the end of every day that you not only did the best for yourself, but that you did the best for your peers.
And we're back.
We're back.
That segment was made by Christian Ackerman, who's MCAT's producer trainer. So when you come here to learn about how to make video, the fellow that made the segment you just saw is the person who would be training you. And it's going to be our new community spotlight.
I think this is just a fabulous idea.
The fellow Jack
Wiegman
is not representing any civic group or nonprofit. So it's a little change of pace. It's just like kind of a spotlight on a Missoula community member. So if you want to nominate someone you would like us to do a profile on, and I think they'd have to cooperate.
Or if you think you're just incredibly interesting.
Yeah, well, I guess you could self-nominate because you can't say, like, come over and do this profile like Grandpa, and he'd be like, I'm not doing any of this crap. You know, that's not going to work. So they have to agree, and we would make a community spotlight, 5 to 7 minutes, something like that.
Because everyone's got a really interesting story. I mean,
yeah, I think so, too, you know. So think about it. You can email us with your ideas at mcat@mcat.org or call us 542-6228. Well, we have more guests, and this time we're turning to the arts.
Yes, we have, we're welcoming Michael Gardner, who's the executive director of ZAC. I want you to tell us all about ZAC and what ZAC stands for.
All about the ZAC. The ZAC stands for Zootown Arts Community Center. Typically when I tell somebody all about the ZAC, it's on about a 45-minute tour. So like broadly, the ZAC is an arts community center. We provide arts education for kids and adults. We foster sustainable community development through arts and give professional development to artists. And we also just have accessible art experiences that people can come into the center and have anytime.
How long have you been in existence here? I mean, it's...
But he just started as executive director this year.
But ZAC's been around for a few years, right?
Just a few years, yeah. It's still fairly young yet. It was originally started as an artist cooperative, and then it transitioned into a nonprofit in 2008. I just came onto the organization in February of this year, and before that I was volunteering for the ZAC in the development committee for about 6 months.
Well, thanks for stepping up to the plate with this. It's an incredible gift to the community. I mean, between the holiday shows and kids programming, and there's just so many exciting things that you do. Tell us a little bit about some of them.
Well, some of the stuff that's coming up, we have a huge roster of summer camps, like everybody else in town, right? Summer camps are like garage sales, we got art-focused camps that range in topics from space to monsters, recycled paper making, using felt, using clay, fabric, the whole suite. Touches kids ages from 5 to 16, and there are half-day camps, full-day camps, every age group, all across the board.
I want to make sure people know the website. I see that the address, and we'll talk about the unique location of Zootown Arts. You want to call and learn about the summer activities for kids, 549-7555, zootownarts.com. So all one string? .org, sorry. So maybe Philip will change that while we're talking.
It'll actually, it'll bump you over.
The org usually suggests the nonprofit business, and column sometimes suggests commerce, not communication. In any event, there are other, the things too that the ZAC offers that a lot of people don't have, the printmaking capability.
Yep, we offer the only public print shop in Montana.
Yeah, because otherwise the presses, they're kind of big and bulky things, and the university has some.
Yep.
But, and then the area, people can do silk screening at home, but it's
messy.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a kiln, isn't there?
Yep, we have community use kilns. People can come in, they can fire their clay. We use our kilns to fire pottery that you can paint your own pottery in our pottery studio there. But if people are just hand building at home, or they have their own wheel or something like that, and they don't have a kiln, because kilns are expensive too, they're several $1,000s.
And they use a lot of electricity if it is that electric.
Yeah, a ton of electricity. Yeah, it costs us like $20 just to turn it on.
Wow.
Wow. See, that's a bit. So it's a great idea to have a shared space like that where people can can absorb the costs collectively, or say, look, I don't know whether I want to get into this. Why don't I come and try it out?
And you have continuing adult art classes as well.
Yep, we sure do. A lot of our adult education is focused around printmaking because of our print shop. But we do have other adult education programs as well. On our website, you can see a full list. They're scheduled out about 6 months in advance. So you can check them out then. We offer free workshops twice a month in our print shop. One workshop focused on silk screening, another workshop focused on relief printmaking.
And do you still have the cool store?
We do have a cool store. Yeah, you can come in and shop.
I'm the shopper,
You can
so people might want to know there's a cool store.
Really great gifts.
Yeah, they're really great gifts. You can get art from nationally recognized artists as much as $3,000, or you can buy a $2 postcard from a local printmaker too.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. And there's sometimes artist studios available at the ZAC.
Yeah, there sure are.
So if artists are watching, there might be a chance, that there'd be a vacancy. I don't know.
Yeah, we actually
in the
have
last newsletter there was, right?
2 vacancies coming up right around the corner. We have one that's going to be available in June 1st, and another one that just opened up today. Yep. So it's low cost. Comes with free utilities, free Wi-Fi. You can co-opt the use of all of our business infrastructure, like the copier, the printer, fax machine, merchant system, that sort of thing. So it really provides a place for somebody to really get the ball rolling for themselves without having to invest in everything up front.
That's really good. Great. And the other thing they do for artist development is you have those gallery spaces so that if people want to see what it's like to create a body of work, to put it on the wall, invite people to come over, drink some wine, eat some cheese, and see if you get a sale. People can do that at the ZAC as well.
Yeah, you sure can. It's a non-curated gallery, so we don't go out and solicit artists to be in our gallery. you basically go on a waiting list, and it provides an opportunity for an artist to do just as what you were describing there, which is kind of learn about the whole process from hanging to self-promotion to being hospitable during the reception.
Charming even, you never know. You know.
For emerging artists, that's a huge thing. I mean, it's not easy to crack into the gallery world.
Right,
so
it's not.
This is a way to begin.
You could do it like on a first come first served basis, which is the mantra around here at MCAP for people using our stuff. Do you want to add anything else, Michael? Did we cover everything?
ZooTownArts.org has just about everything. Getting to the ZAC.
Oh, that's right. We meant to say that it's in an unusual location.
Over the river and through the
It's kind of it's in a unique little nook on the north side, but we're just right down the road from the new North Side Kettle House as well. So if you want
to landmark,
it is a good landmark. Yep. So if you're getting to the ZAC, you go north on Orange, and before you get to the interstate, as soon as you get out from underneath the tunnel, you take a right on 2nd Street, and you take a right on Woody. If you go right, you're going to Beer. If you go left, you're going to Art.
Yeah, and then you could combine the two by going left and right and finding some peace in the center.
Just standing in the middle of the street. Yeah,
and Kim had a good idea of a different way of going to it is pretend like you're going up Duncan Drive, cross the railroad tracks on the east side of Spruce.
Like you're going up the Rattlesnake.
And then go to the left onto North 2nd.
Yep.
And then it's kind of a nice country road. Michael's...
there we have
I just pointed at it and it went away. There was like a picture of a map that you had made, to show that this is the I pointed at it and it went away. There was like a J hook up there anyway, where you went under the Orange Street underpass, you turned right again, and then left.
It's not that hard.
No, it's just not that hard. Oh, it's there again.
Quick.
Okay. And it's showing right where it is, and that approach from North 2nd Street East is the one you would use if you went up what we call Madison Street or Van Buren to cross the railroad tracks to Duncan Drive. Hours? Are there hours of operation?
Yeah, we're open to the public Monday through Saturday now, 12 to 6 p.m. So that's when you can just come in and make art anytime. Use the pottery room, the print shop. We have an art supply room that's just busting at the seams with art supplies that the community can just come in and use anything.
This is without a membership, or do people pay
this is
an
without
annual?
A membership. We do have a membership program like most organizations, and it affords you discounts through with everything that we offer there.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be a member to come in and participate.
Oh, and Philip's putting up pictures. I don't know if you want to narrate
look how cool that sign is.
Yep,
before we sign off with you.
There's
an
very excited kid.
An art lover.
Yeah.
That's our print shop.
It looks like a revelation.
And that one's sideways.
Yes, that's
sideways.
And that's our shop where you can buy fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's great. Well, Michael, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. And come back again, if something's going on or whatever, we'll be here. We're doing our show every 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's on every day until we manage to get back and do it again. It's just sometimes dating some of the things we're talking about, but a lot of people understand
the summer camps are going to be
going on all summer,
opening up really soon, and so they should go
to the
website and check
website.
out more details.
And parents might think now like they don't need any summer camps.
Oh no, if you're a parent, you're panicking right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I was thinking like some of them might,
going,
they
I
might
need summer
stick it out, right? And they're like, oh my God, it is just the end of June. And then they'll start thinking about this summer camp thing more seriously later on.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to visit next with Jim Brown. He's here from the Audubon Society, the Five Valleys Audubon. And I was talking to Pootie McLaughlin, and she does most of their outreach.
Right.
And I called her just as a wild hair, and I said, I have seen these things here, and I've been helping put them on our community calendar for like 17 years. I want to see someone from Five Valleys, and so we're gonna.
We're lucky.
Yeah, he's up next. I'm going to set up a little clip for you. This is a visit we had this week with the Ugandan Orphan Children's Choir. This is based like in Eastern Washington, and the kids.
I read about
Yeah, they did a concert at St. Anthony's, I think, today that Ron videoed, so you'll see it on Channel 7 coming up. And then yesterday they came and they were in the studio, and they did 2 numbers. I don't know which one you're going to see. One was more like rhythm-based, right? And the other was more like song thing. But in any event, here's a look at that, and then after Jim visits, I did a brief interview with them that we'll see before we leave. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Hi, it's your host, Joel Baird, posing in front of the Ugandan Orphan Children's Choir. We're going to talk with the tour director, Tino Kuroga, And I'm going to go back and do the camera to ask him questions. Tino, welcome, and welcome to the choir. Thanks so much for that performance. They were wonderful. Can you tell the people watching a little bit about the choir?
Sure. There are 5 girls and 5 boys, and they all come from an island named Sessi Island, located in Uganda's Lake Victoria, so almost halfway around the world. And we are traveling around the United States. We started our tour in Bellingham, and we're ending in Dallas, Texas, and we're going through the Midwest. So we have a long journey ahead of us. We're on tour for a total of 9 months, and we've been on tour for 2 months already. And we're traveling around to churches and museums and different venues like that, sharing our culture, and also trying to gain child sponsorship, which is our main focus for child care worldwide. And what that does is it helps provide an education for children that are in need, just like these.
Right. And if people are interested, Philip's got a website back up there to put up for you. If you want to help sponsor a child from this Ugandan Orphans Choir ministry, there is a website. It's really small, so I'm going to say it for people at home in case they can't see it. It is ugandaorphanschoir.org. And of course, I always say, just Google it. Well, Tino, what kind of questions do you think the kids would want to answer about their life on the road and stuff? Anyone can talk. I think they have to be close to Tino to hear the microphone.
Sure. Julius, what is your favorite part of America so far?
Seattle.
Seattle?
Yes.
Okay. So Seattle is what he likes.
Okay.
Henry, what have you liked so far?
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Is the ministry based in Bellingham?
It is. It's based in northern Washington, Bellingham, which is by Vancouver, BC.
Oh, yeah. What is anyone can answer, what do you think of the weather in the Northwest? Is it too cold? Just right?
What do you think? How's the weather?
In Uganda?
Here.
Cold.
Cold.
Right.
Have you guys, they got a chance to see snow. How many of you guys like snow?
For the first time?
For the first time.
Wow.
Yeah. So they really enjoyed that.
Anything else I wanted to introduce, and Tino, you can. Here is a member of the tour. They shall not speak. They're shy. I know it's Chelsea, John. Welcome. And
Betty. This is Betty. And she is our choir director.
Beautiful music. Well, anything you want to add, Tino?
Yeah, if they would like to sponsor a child, it's $38 a month. And you can go onto UgandanOrphansChoir.org and look at it there. You can also follow our choir through the website as well. We have a blog and a Facebook group. You can kind of see what we're doing and where we're going as well. So thank you for having us here today.
Oh, you're most welcome. And thank you for the beautiful music and the talent and artistry you've displayed today, and your great patience with the mechanics of making a TV clip. Thanks so much, you guys, and have a great and good tour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back with Jim Brown from the Five Valleys Audubon Society, which is a chapter of the National Audubon Society, which I even thought was hosted here in Missoula, at Fort Missoula or something. I was looking up on the web, to learn a little more about it today, and then I thought, wow, the National Audubon Society has an office at the Fort Missoula. But in any event, Jim, welcome, and thank you so much for waiting.
Thank you.
For the other guests. Kim is going to ask you the questions because I couldn't see them.
Well, the first thing I want to know is, I mean, when we hear Audubon Society, we think birds, but tell us what your mission is, what your goals are.
Well, first of all, we're a group of people that really enjoy birds, and we enjoy helping other people see birds, enjoy birds, and learn to appreciate birds and their connection to the environment. And there's various groups of Audubon. We're a chapter. We're one of 9 chapters in the state of Montana. And then there is a National Audubon Office, which you mentioned, and we do have a couple of employees that work for National Audubon Society, actually located out of Fort Missoula.
Oh, wow.
But we're a different kind of group. We're a small group that is focused right here in western Montana, west central Montana, and that's mostly where we concentrate.
And do you have members, a membership?
We have a lot of members. We have about 400 members, actually, the chapter, maybe closer to 450. And there's two ways of being a member. One is you can join the National Audubon Society, and that automatically makes you a member of our chapter.
Oh, okay.
Or you can just join our chapter. And you don't get the National Audubon magazine if you do that, but it's $15 to join the chapter. It's $20 to join the National Audubon. Either way is fine, and then you can participate in all of our activities. Actually, a lot of our activities are free and open to the public, whether you're a member or not. So we encourage everybody, young and old, to come and enjoy our activities.
So especially if you wanted to, you know, try it out and see if
Oh, for sure, yes.
you enjoyed it.
We have a variety of activities, which I might just mention. Field trips, which is a very popular thing. We get out and look at the birds.
Yeah, here's some pictures
And
of it.
we do have some pictures.
They're going
Do I
up
get to
there
see
now.
those?
Here we
if,
go.
if you look behind you, Jim, you'll see on the screen.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know who those birds were. Are those egrets?
Those are sandhill cranes. We saw those on our last field trip in the upper Blackfoot Valley. They're a very big, exciting bird, and they make kind of a prehistoric sound. That's one of the 16 species of ducks that we saw on our last field trip.
They have a haircut like mine.
They look very similar. That's a hooded merganser.
That's what we can call your haircut now.
Merganser.
The merganser, yes.
And we see also the smaller songbirds. This is the mountain bluebird, just arriving from its winter home in the southwest United States.
Beautiful.
And we were seeing flocks of those come through.
Flocks of them.
So these field trips go to different parts of the western Montana. Some of our trips are even further. Some are half a day, very local. Some are a full day. And some are even 2 days. Like this weekend, we have a trip to Freeze-Out Lake, which is going to be a 2-day trip, an overnight in Shoto.
It has a fantastic number of geese or something. Once an APAP producer went to Freeze-Out Lake, and I was looking at something that I thought was solid. And it started to move, and then it started to vibrate, and then it took off in the air, and it broke apart.
That's right. We mass numbers of the white geese, snow geese, and Ross's geese migrate in, and they stage at freeze-out for a few days before they fly on to the Arctic. So we try to time it and get over there and see these mass numbers. That's one kind of our field trips. And we do field trips for little kids, and we do them for grown-up people. We invite families. You know, everybody is welcome to come on these field trips, even whether you're a member or not. And
we post them, you know, on the MCAT community calendar. That's how I got the idea, because I thought, I want to see someone. And they're usually, you know, mentioned like a Saturday. There'll be a weekend trip. People will meet at the university somewhere, parking lot or something at such and such a time.
Right. All of our trips start right at the field house, and then we carpool as best possible to go with fewer vehicles. And then we either spend a half a day or the full day or whatever it is. Usually people bring a lunch and something to drink, and we have a good day of it.
Sounds like a fun time. And the Audubon Society is also very much involved in conservation, right?
Very much so. And besides enjoying the birds and gaining appreciation, underneath it all, we are very much concerned about conservation, and we do have some active conservation programs. One of them right here at the doorstep of Missoula is called the Clark Fork River Grass Valley Important Bird Area. And that's actually an international program managed by National Audubon in the United States. And we look after this area. I don't know if you have a slide of that or not, but
it's not up yet.
It's an area that runs from roughly Reserve Street to Huson and includes all the cottonwood bottomlands, the adjoining grasslands and wetlands. And it's a very important area because we have this big diversity of birds and about a dozen or so species that we call species of conservation concern, because they're species that are in somewhat trouble. But in this area, they're doing great, and we're trying to point that out to landowners, to planners, so that they know that this area that we call an important bird area is something that's very special, and we encourage folks to think about how special it is and how they can practice some conservation to help protect these birds.
So your group's purpose is then to kind of monitor what's going on there, the health of the populations of birds, and then to educate the general public.
Exactly. We do monitor to find out just what is going on there, and then we try to tell the story to the public and the landowners. We have one keystone species called the Lewis's woodpecker that lives in this area, and throughout its range it's in big trouble. But it's doing very well in Missoula, Montana. In fact, there are people that will fly into Missoula from all around the country because they know they can see a Lewis's woodpecker in Missoula.
Oh, that is
so it's a very special habitat.
Ecotourism.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it's important that we tell this story so that people know. And we want to protect the cottonwoods and try to keep this kind of a habitat on the landscape for a long, long time.
And that must be somewhat hard. You know, along the river, just recently now, the Army Corps of Engineers went in to cut down all the cottonwoods because they said in order to do their flood due diligence or whatever it is, you know, by the senior apartments on Orange Street, all those have been knocked down and all the way towards Russell and Reserve.
Yes, that was a very special kind of a project right on the river bank where they were afraid that the cottonwoods would uproot and disturb that bank. So it was kind of a special situation. But for the most part, we don't want to see cottonwoods cut down. They're a very valuable bird habitat tree. In fact, there's a number of species that nest in the cottonwoods. We call them cavity nesters, like this Lewis's woodpecker, and in fact, like that hooded merganser. It also nests in holes in these cottonwood trees. The duck does.
Now that's news to me. You don't think of ducks as
You don't think of ducks
trees.
doing that, but that's a very important piece of habitat for this species. And it is one of the species of conservation concern because it does require these kinds of cavities to nest in. And we don't want to see those cavities cut down, so to speak.
Well, as Missoula gets more and more developed and the infill seems to be the order of the day, because I could read the word subdivision on that page. I could read the word subdivision.
One of the other things we do is we review all proposals for subdivisions in Missoula County to see if there is an impact on important bird habitat. And if so, we try to point this out and make suggestions on how this subdivision could be redesigned or modified to favor the important bird habitat, which is largely our riparian areas, you know, our stream sides, the adjoining wetlands, the marshes that we can find in the area, and even the bodies of water like little ponds or lakes. Those are really key habitats. In fact, some 80% of all birds that are found in the state of Montana at one time or another will utilize these wetland habitats. So they're absolutely key. Yet only less than 4% of the state of Montana really is in those kind of habitats. So they're
very rare.
Extremely, yes. They're rare, they're very important, and that's something that we try to look after in our conservation efforts.
You know, I grew up by that little pond, weird little pond behind where Albertsons is now, the Russell Street. I grew up right there.
Yeah, that's
and
a
that was
fascinating spot.
Huge part of our childhood was to be
going
able to
over
look
there.
at all the birds.
Yes, and there's still some nice birds that use that pond. Some blackbirds and mallard ducks. And you can see a number of species there.
And that was preserved. You know, we have somewhere, if I thought of it, I would have, okay, Philip's saying we're running out of time. If I thought of it, Ron Scholl did a documentary about that wetland area by the Albertsons.
Well, how can we find out more detail about the different field trips that you have coming up?
Well, our programs, which are monthly in the evening, as well as field trips, you can see those announced like MCAT. The Missoulian runs ads on their Thursday section. You can go on to our website, which is fvamissoula.org.
And we got that up on the screen.
Good.
Okay, and the calendar is on that. And those are probably the key ways.
Terrific.
If you're a member, you get a monthly newsletter that has all these announcements for both programs and field trips and so forth in that newsletter, so you can keep up. We recommend you join and get the newsletter.
Absolutely.
Well, sure. Well, I guess we better go because I have a little bit of footage from the MCAT vault, but I want to thank Jim Brown coming and representing the Five Valleys Audubon and being so patient today because you were the last guest. He was here.
Yeah.
Good
It's my
40
pleasure.
minutes. Well, thanks again. And thanks so much for watching this edition of Missoula Live. What we're going to go out on is something from the Missoula Vault. Just reminding people we've been here 20 years. We got 20 years of stuff going on. This is something I found. It was tape number 12 of the 6,000 tapes that we have now.
Way back in the time
Way back in the
machine.
day. Yes, it's relative, right? It's the Chuck Florence Quartet performing. And we'll see you next time. We're going to be here at June 2nd. So if you know of a group or you want to come on to make an announcement or what have you, get in touch with us, mcat@mcat.org, 542-6228.
We'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Kim, for being here with me.
Joel.
All right, we'll see you next time. Here's the Chuck Florence Quartet.
Thank you.